Hey everybody, this is the Petey Williams podcast. I am Professor Rick Del Santo joining me today, once again, Showtime Mlw Williams. We have so much to talk about this week. Of course, the news coming out from Ring of Honor. It doesn't look pretty. We got some MLW stuff to talk about, and we've got the AEW Weekend Review. So, tell me, I know that it was a somewhat adventurous weekend for Showtime. How's that going?
It's good, man. I went to Show Up and Wrestle in Massachusetts for a Show Up and Wrestle championship match against Marcos. I was unsuccessful, but hopefully next time, somewhere, I get some gold somewhere. But just keep on putting in that work, and then, we got coming up once again, November 13th, Paradise Alley Pro Wrestling Type 1 and None Round 3 at the JCC. Sooner or later, we got some content coming up for PAPW that may pop up on Fight TV real soon. I keep you all tuned in all the schedules. But I'm just sitting here watching wrestling, as always, watching wrestling throughout the week, and we'll give you all the update as possible with the AEW news. And like Rick Del Santo said, ROH, their big news coming out this week, which was the biggest news of the week. And it
was the biggest news of the week, with them announcing that as of final battle of this year, they're going to be closing down, and for the first quarter of the year, reopening in April, they're going to be reassessing their situation, reassessing the business operations, and seeing where it goes. I mean, to me, this doesn't necessarily look good. It really honestly doesn't. God knows if they'll actually make that comeback that they're saying, because anything could really happen between now. I mean, what happens in that 4 months? They just decide, all right, maybe it's not worth it. Sinclair. And they've also announced that when that show ends, all contracted talent will be released, and they anybody that's under that contract, they will be continue to be paid until March 31st before the relaunch in April. And so they're going to be using free agents. From what I understand, they're going to just be bringing in talent, similar to like how regular indie promotions bring in people. Mm-hmm. So it's looking pretty weird to my the way I'm looking at it.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. ROH, it's been a rise and fall of a company that was kind of like the third or fourth brand throughout the time. You had WWE, you had Impact Wrestling, which was TNA at the time, and then you had ROH, and then AEW did a run-in and took some of their stars, which is the Young Bucks and Kenny Omega and a few other guys. And it's just been an up and down road. They was part of the little bit of they planted the seed work for the All In, for the ideal of Tony Khan making up AEW. So it's unfortunate they released all the stars that they have currently, but they did say that they will work with the talent if they want to negotiate to go somewhere else, which is AEW or WWE. So I mean, we gotta give it respect what it's due. They have sat here and paid their talent during the whole pandemic. They didn't release anybody. They paid everybody when they didn't have no shows, and they took care of the talent as best as they could. But it's unfortunate. I've been to the Madison Square Garden event that they was at, which was a big event for them. And I mean, for them now to say that they're going to take a hiatus and reimagine the ROH brand, it's a big change for the company, and hopefully it's not a RIP for ROH.
Now, I was reading, there's been obviously a lot of articles that have come out since then. And a lot of people are saying that that event was really nothing but a New Japan show, and the ROH portions of that show really were kind of like the bummer of the evening. I didn't see it, so I can't judge. But they also said that,
I was there.
Yeah,
I was there. I was gonna be real. Everybody was there for New Japan.
Yeah.
ROH side didn't deliver what they supposed to deliver, and then it made it worse when they brought in Enzo.
That's exactly
guy.
that's exactly what I was going to say. That's exactly where I was going with that, because they said that they just like ruined the whole thing by bringing in Enzo. And I think they were just trying to get heat. And I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing, to be honest with you. They're just trying something different. Now, mind you, like regular fans are not used to guys like Enzo. They're not used to entertainers. So they think that they really dropped the ball with trying to bring that in, which I understand.
Yeah.
So, they have a different kind of fan base that aren't going to be into that stuff.
Absolutely. That's just like putting Braun Strowman on AEW television. It's not going to
It's not going to work, even though, no, you're right, absolutely. But they've also said that AEW was interested in him as well, which I think that's incredibly. I don't know how true that is. I think it will fail miserably if he shows up in AEW. But
yes,
that's my opinion. They have a certain kind of fan base. So yeah, that's that's the tragic news. And contrary to belief, what people are throwing out there, their video library is not for sale. WWE is not interested in purchasing. WWE is not interested in any of the talent that's currently contracted either, I've read. I find that interesting.
Yeah, I mean, they're not interested in the talent, for one. They can't get the library because they got a big deal with Peacock right now, which is whole 5 years. So they can't even add new library to their library, even if they could, because they got to keep that on hold unless they go back to their own network. Right. So, it's a great library. They got many matches in there. They got Eddie Guerrero versus CM Punk versus Rey Mysterio in the library. They got all the Bryan Danielson matches. They got all the Samoa Joe matches. All the matches you could name, even the All In show, they have in their library.
AJ Styles matches from back in the day.
So yes, they have all the library possible. So I mean, it's not for sale. There's rumors that it's on sale, but if it was on sale, I would prefer AEW to buy it because they got most of the stars there, and you got the All In pay-per-view there. So why would you not want that? So
another speculation that I read today is that people said that they really kind of dropped the ball there as well in the All In, not cashing in, trying to move forward with that, just not caring enough, not necessarily partaking in the fourth wall situation that's going on, sharing talent with other promotions. They were with like groups like AEW and Impact and New Japan and stuff like that. Once the New Japan deal was over, they just kind of just lingered. They and then COVID happened. So
well, I mean, at the time when the idea was thrown out there for All In, they was in co-op with Cody Rhodes and them, and they put together, like I said, the groundwork for what we got now. But the thing is, nobody knew that was going to happen anyway, but they was trying to make a difference on top of the Madison Square Garden sellout. We just going to be real. The sellout for Madison Square Garden was for the Young Bucks and Kenny Omega and New Japan together. Hate to say it, but that's what it was. But
no, you're right.
That's what it was. So now it's unfortunate. I mean, like I said, they got a lot of history behind it, and it's unfortunate, man. I wish the best for all the talent that got released recently.
Absolutely. I mean, I wonder where some of them are going up. But a lot of them are popping up in indie shows in the area, booking down the next couple months. I've seen guys like PCO and Mike Bennett and Matt Taven already picking up shows in the area. So a couple other people I'm trying to remember offhand, but.
So I mean, it's just gonna be, sooner or later, you just gotta, hopefully. It's just bad right now because you got WWE that doesn't want the talent, and then you got AEW who is stacked to the roster. So it's just, like I said, it's unfortunate. You got NWA's open, but they're not making the money like AEW or like Impact. They're not making the money as AEW or WWE's making. So, like I said, there's more work out there. Just hopefully ROH come back in April, full blast, and continue what they're doing.
I'm wondering I don't even know how much, say Billy Corgan invested into the NWA, how much he can invest, because I don't even, obviously he's got other investments. He can't just blow all this money. I know the guy is a rock star and makes a shit ton of money, but how much is he actually able to invest in his product and hiring talent? Like, obviously he has to be very conscious and what he spends. He can't just blow money. So some of these, so that's why it's like when some of these guys get released from, like, say, WWE, or somebody leaves AEW, it's a wonder why he doesn't pick them up. Obviously he's got to be, careful with what he spends. I don't think, like, he's invested in his product, but sometimes it's just not necessarily easy as well. I know, like I said, I know the guy's a rock star. He's probably made millions of dollars, but he can't just spend anything he wants. So.
Nah, I know that. Billy Corgan, when he brought the NWA, he basically brought the name. He brought the name and the titles. So right. It's not like Impact Wrestling. Impact Wrestling, Anthem Sports brought not only the roster, they brought the brand, they brought everything. So, Billy Corgan used most of his money to build the sets, set up the time, the pay-per-views, and all that stuff. So, it's just hard out there, man. And it's hard right now. And, Tony Khan was lucky and fortunate to grab a TNT deal, a Warner Media deal, So.
How that is possible, considering that TNT or Turner did not want wrestling on their channel 20 years ago, but something happened. You know what I mean?
That's why WCW went out of business. That's
why. Yeah, they were losing the TV split. Yeah, exactly. So it's just really awkward. But hey, 20 years later, things have changed, or maybe it was like 18 years later, right? When they TNT joined, or AEW joined TNT. So it's really good. Wrestling was in a different place and was actually even more popular than it was around.
It was the dumbest idea ever. I hate to say that. It was the dumbest idea ever. If you look back at it, Nitro and Thunder was the highest rated thing on TNT.
Even WCW during its terrible period was still doing higher ratings than
they was doing.
Most likely WWE is doing now. Exactly, more than WWE is doing now on either of the programs. So they're doing like a 1.29 now. Yeah, it's really ridiculous. So the fact that they just took them off the channels was just completely ridiculous. So I don't know. What else do we got going on so far? You want to talk some AEW?
I know you got some. Don't you got some MLW releases?
I do. So MLW released 4 people this week, or last week, excuse me. I took these notes right around the time of their Wednesday show. Let me see. I got them right here. Here we go. Yep. All right. MLW released, was it Buku Dao? If I pronounce these names wrong, I'm sorry. Leo Bryan, Beastman, who I thought was really weird that Beastman was released, because didn't he just get signed a few months ago?
He just got signed, right?
It only seemed like it was about 2 or 3 months ago that they announced his signing.
I didn't know he got released.
Yep, that was in the article. Yep. And, best of luck to him. I felt bad. I first saw him on the Tony Capone's NAWA pay-per-view, with your boys, the House of Pain was on that show last winter. He was on that show in the Battle Royal. So that was the first time I ever seen him. And then I saw that he was signed to MLW. I was like, all right, that's pretty good. Good for him. But the fact that he got let go, I just find that really bizarre. And then Jordan Oliver, who I thought was extremely weird, he got fired or released. He was heavily featured on MLW for a long time, for like at least during the pandemic area, right up to the pandemic when it started, and throughout the pandemic before MLW took a hiatus. He was heavily featured on the show, and he just got let go. So I'm really surprised about that one. And he's competed in places like CZW and stuff like that as well during the pandemic. But seeing him let go, very odd.
Yes. Like I said, it's another story that's unfortunate for talent out there, and MLW. It looked like they're trying to reimagine the brand as well. Just like RH was saying. So, they probably want to take it seriously now and start trimming all the fat.
Absolutely. It looks like they're, from what I have read, kind of similar to what you're saying, they are trying to reimagine and get go towards a different lane, different concept. Also today, Filthy Tom Lawler's contract has expired, and he has stated that he is currently a free agent. How about that news? So that is huge news for MLW losing possibly one of its biggest stars. Where are they going to? Where is he going to find out? Where is he going to end up?
It's kind of hard now. I mean, the NXT thing done switched up real. It's nothing but developmental now. So I mean, and like we talk about all the time, AEW is fully staffed. I mean, they got anybody there, you know. So it's kind of hard, man. I mean, he could be an Impact Wrestling. He could be anywhere, you know. So I mean, it's unfortunate. I don't know what he asked for his release himself, or they released him, but it's really unfortunate for him as well because he's a good star for MLW.
Yeah, I thought he was a very good star for there. He put on some of their best matches. He was I just saw him wrestle. Hang on. Davey Richards 2 weeks ago, and a tremendous match in the tournament for the opening round of the Opera Cup tournament. Oh my God, that was amazing. Not to mention that Jeff Cobb will be coming to MLW for War Chamber. Jeff Cobb, New Japan star. Where else? He was a Ring of Honor star. Excuse me, what the hell am I thinking? Yeah, also Ring of Honor star. So he's going to come in there. That's going to be, I think that's a really good grab for MLW. Maybe that's why they're letting all these guys go, because they can't afford to pay for them. Because Jeff Cobb probably
right out my mouth.
Well, they're bringing in one of the greatest professional wrestlers of the modern era, Jeff Cobb, into MLW. So,
listen, you gotta trim all the fat to bring in the good stars. That's how that works in the wrestling business.
Did you ever hear about Jeff Cobb's tryout with NXT?
No, I haven't. I didn't know you had a tryout.
This is years down the road, or at the Performance Center. Excuse me.
Yeah.
So he went in there and he said he tried out and he did pretty well, you know, all that stuff. And this was before I think he became a professional wrestler. He was still a collegiate wrestler. Maybe he had worked some indies. I'm not exactly sure. And I think he talked about this on Jericho's podcast. But it was one of those things where it turned into, he said that when he turned and they were checking the stuff out, he turned around and he saw a clipboard and it had two lists on it, wrestlers and athletes. And he was on the wrestler side, so they were checking off guys that they didn't want through the wrestler list, and they were actually only taking like their legit athletes, and he was not on that list, even though he had didn't compete in the Olympics and stuff.
Yeah.
Yep.
Absolutely. That's fine. I heard about that recently. When they had a tryout up in Las Vegas during SummerSlam weekend, they had they only took athletes. They didn't take no wrestlers, no indie wrestlers at all. They want all these collegiate athletes, and they just need them. You know, they just need these guys that they want to mold into their own.
They do, currently with a new NXT 2.0, rumor is that they are not interested in any independent wrestlers whatsoever. And that's just fucking crazy.
But you got Braun Breaker. Braun Breaker wrestled in the Indies.
Who was a wrestler? He was a wrestler? Yeah, absolutely. All right, so not to mention, did you see that Danhausen broke his leg in the indie show out in Tennessee?
I heard. I didn't know he broke his leg, though.
Damn. Yes, he did. Yes, he did. He posted a picture from the hospital. He's got a gigantic cast on his leg. So, and it's legit from what I heard. Not to mention, let's see, I got other Hacksaw Jim Duggan has revealed that he has prostate cancer. And the prostate cancer is very difficult to come back from.
Yes, it is.
Not to mention,
it's unfortunate for Jim Duggan. He kicked out of the kidney cancer he had back in '99, almost 2000, when he was in WCW. So I heard he's doing well now. So hopefully he kick out of this again and have one more run with life.
They said he had a successful surgery. Hacksaw's wife is updating the public through his social media. He released a video. I'm going to play that here.
Hi, folks. You know, Deborah and I, we always share the good times with you. But today we got to share some bad times. I've been diagnosed with prostate cancer, and I'm having my surgery tomorrow. Actually, it's been going on for a couple of months now, and Deborah and I have been living with it and getting ready. But reality is here, and I'm going down to Charleston tomorrow to have my cancer surgery. So, folks, I know you've been thinking and praying for me about this last surgery. Please think of me this Friday as I go in for my cancer surgery down in Charleston. Deborah will keep everybody updated, but I'm going to take a break from social media. So thanks for all the thoughts and prayers, and we'll see you down on the road with the grace of God and the skill of doctors. Love you.
Before we switch over to the next one, Ring of Honor did run a very cool episode. I guess that they're running their last set of television tapings, I think, this week.
Mm-hmm.
And it's going to lead them up till the last event, Final Battle, to where they're just taking that hiatus. And tonight's episode was actually, television episode was actually a best of Jay Lethal, which I thought was tremendous. It was amazing. Now, I'm sure you know, I know, Jay Lethal was a local guy for a long time growing up in the Northeast. He would wrestle down here on indie shows all the time before actually kind of making it to TNA, making it to Ring of Honor. So it's kind of cool that a guy like that has made it that far in the business. And then here they are doing like a cool tribute video to him on their episode on the new television, just a full hour dedicated to him. They showed the match with him and AJ Styles, which was honestly phenomenal. No pun intended. Actually, I did that by accident. And so the other one was the other match. They showed two matches and a bunch of like interviews and stuff. And the other match was him and Jay Briscoe, which I'm not a huge fan of the Briscoes, but that was a freaking awesome match. It really was. Dominic Dijak rather, was in that video as well. It was really cool.
Yeah, Jay Lethal is a legend around this area. He
Yeah.
This was before I even got into the business. He was really popular around here in the area, especially the one of the matches he had was Slick Wagner Brown, which is
that's a match I was just about to bring up. I was just going to bring that
match
up.
around the area. So, Jay Lethal, man, was killing it, even with the Flair promo,
Oh, absolutely. That became a legendary because, a lot of people like to go back and view that and stuff. All right, so let's talk a little bit of AEW. Before we get into the television this week, earlier today, I should say, that Tony Khan says it is a possibility that AEW will do a streaming service. How do you feel about this?
I feel that's great, man. I mean, they do got a lot of stuff in the library so far, which is 2 years worth. So, I mean, they got that, and, hopefully they accumulate some more library to throw in there, wouldn't hurt to grab some more content.
Between the Dark, Elevation, and all the Dynamites, that's a lot of content to start off with. You know what I mean? It would take a while for people to get caught up. Excuse me. And speaking of Elevation, our boys, the Waves of Curls, were on there tonight against
FTR.
Holy crap, FTR. I couldn't have had trouble thinking of the name. Jesus. FTR, or Lucha Legends FTR, if you saw FTR's post about that. So I got to go back and watch that. I don't ever watch that live. I usually watch it later. I'm never around at 7:00. So yeah, I would love to see the streaming service. I'm going to go, like I said, and you remember like the earlier episodes of Dark? They were actually had feature matches instead of, it wasn't like a lot of local guys getting their shot.
I know I had the BR Report app, and they had the first episode of Dynamite all the way to the current, and all the pay-per-views. So they had this streaming thing going on recently, but actually, I think they revamped the whole BR app. So now that's not even on there no more. Not even past pay-per-views are on there. I think they're on there, but you gotta purchase them again. But I'm like, I already purchased them. I had them already lined up. So
I liked it when I thought it was cool when BR did did a couple of those pay-per-views for free. Didn't they do like 2 or 3 of them for free, and you just got to sit there? I thought that was a good concept. You know what I mean? Try to get it's a new brand, trying to get people interested in the brand. It works.
And and I don't know if you heard, they got a new announcement that they supposed to be doing a special, like a Clash of the Champions event soon in January called AEW Battle of the Belts.
Okay. Oh, yes, I did read a headline. I just actually never got didn't actually open the article. That's Battle of the Belts was an old NWA Florida
CWF
event. Yep, a Florida event that Dusty would put on
I
every
got
year.
you, Rick. I got
You did. You got the professor. Yes. Battle of the Belts was always something that I always loved to watch. Those 3 events, I had them on VHS tape back in the day, back when I used to do the tape trading.
They got
So
it on YouTube actually. It's actually on YouTube.
yeah, I'm sure. I haven't. I don't think. You know what the best is? Like, I like to go onto YouTube and actually watch the original versions of the Clash of the Champions because they're not edited. They have the original music and all the funky stuff isn't taken out. You watch them on the network; they're all just edited to death and they just don't sound cool at all. It's all garbage. A lot of the. I mean, if you look at summer of 1980, SummerSlam 1988, Rick Rude's music is completely different than
for no reason.
Didn't they own that or no? I mean, I thought they owned it, but
I thought yeah.
Yeah, it was just like a customized stripper music, basically.
You are so correct.
Yeah. All right, AEW Dynamite 10/27/21, which was last Wednesday. CM Punk defeated Bobby Fish. This is probably CM Punk's shortest match since coming into. I got to say that about somebody else coming up, but this is probably his shortest match since coming into AEW or making his return. This is a phenomenal match. This was a really good match, and Bobby Fish, I got to tell you, he is a tremendous talent, man. He really is a great worker.
All I gotta say is Bobby Fish is proving people wrong because there was a few people, and I was one of them, thinking that AEW really didn't need him like that. But he's becoming a great hand for AEW since he started a few weeks ago against Sammy Guevara.
Yeah. Oh, that match was awesome. I think we talked about that last week. It was really good. Let's see. MJF defeated Bryce Donovan. This was a squash match. 35 seconds.
It was squash. The best part was after the match where, he tried to trick us with the Sting music and the lights off, and then it goes off again, and he thought Sean Spears did it, and then he looks around, it wasn't even Sean Spears. Then Sting pops up again, and then we got Darby Allin on the outside behind the rail. So it was a great segment. And then there was a little teaser in there because MJF, he wants to challenge the winner of the Full Gear AEW Championship match between Hangman Page and Kenny Omega.
I think there is a period where MJF will get that title.
He will get it.
I think he will be, and I think he'd be a perfect candidate to be that champion. He really is. He's the best heel in the business. I've been saying it for years. So
now is at the time.
At least, no. He's still too young. You know what I mean? He's hated enough, and I think it's tremendous. And he keeps kayfabe outside of the conventions and signings and stuff like that. I think it's amazing. I don't know if he's got to ask people if he could sign it a certain way or whatever. I've seen him sign it pretty scary, I guess, his autographs and stuff. It's kind of funny, but questionable, I should say. Sammy Guevara defeated Ethan Page to retain the AEW TNT Championship. Sorry, there's a lot to read here. I love Ethan Page. I like Sammy Guevara keeps getting better and better, and he's still young. Ethan Page is really good. This is a pretty good match, man. I really like this one.
This was a good match for a TNT Championship, and they continue to make that championship look good. A good mid-card title, making it important.
Let me ask you, because I thought maybe I'm just not used to it because I'm pretty traditional, and that could be my downfall sometimes. What do you think about this TNT and TBS championship using those names?
At first, when TNT Championship was first announced, I thought it was stupid, and the TBS Championship. But if they do it the right way, it will work. So basically, the TNT Championship should be only defended, I take it. It could be defended on pay-per-views, but it should only change hands on TNT. It should change hands on the network. TBS Championship, it would be good for Dynamite because you could always just put that title on Dynamite, which is moving in January on TBS.
So what are they going to do with that TNT title? Are they going to continue to call it the TNT title? Or are they going to...
Hey, they just going to have to defend it on Rampage only. Rampage stays on TNT.
Oh, okay. Is that true? It's just Dynamite. True. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So you know, hopefully that works out. I consider them both as television titles. So I mean,
yes, I think that's basically where they were. Yeah, that's where they were going with it, was a television title. So I get that part. You know, it's just the.
I get it.
The belt designs are kind of ugly, though. Personally,
yeah,
but that's just me. All right, this match.
At first it looked good until they decided to do TBS Championship the same way. I kind of liked the design. It just
but the
because I like the way they changed the colors up for each title.
Yeah, the TBS one is just like a smaller title, or like the TBS letters in the middle with like a blank area surrounding it. It's kind of weird looking. This match is my favorite match of the week. Hikaru Shida defeated Serena Deeb in the AEW TBS Championship Tournament first round matchup. 10 minutes, 58 seconds. This was a phenomenal match. This was absolutely my favorite match of the week. I'm sorry, CM Punk and Bobby Fish. I'm sorry, Bryan Danielson and Eddie Kingston, but this match was awesome, dude. This was a great match.
This match was an instant classic, especially since the last classic match we had from AEW with women was a Thunder Rosa and Britt Baker unsanctioned match, but this one, it's right up there. This match was really good. I enjoyed that match a few weeks ago, but this one, they had enough time. It was real great. I enjoyed it. Hopefully really they do it again later on.
It was really great for their storyline. You know what I mean? Between Shida and Deeb, that whole storyline that's been going on with them. They were trying to get that, Serena Deeb blocked her from getting the 50 wins in a row, and this was just a good portion of that story. Jon Moxley defeated 10 in the tournament match. 2 minutes and 4 seconds. There's really not much to speak about here.
Now we knew what it was. Jon Moxley is heading on into the finals.
Yep. I wonder if it's going to be him and Danielson. Yeah, so
I'm hoping.
Excuse me. Yeah, I think it'll be good.
We'll talk about Danielson in a minute. We'll talk about Danielson in a minute.
So, do we is it okay if I trash this main event?
Why?
Everybody's
trashing it.
Oh, you don't know why? I'm sure if
I know why.
Else is trashing it.
No, everybody's trashing it. Everybody, I just like the part when Hangman took off to reveal himself, and then at least it continues the story as it's supposed to.
Dark Order.
But go ahead, trash it.
Evil Uno, Stu Grayson, Colt Cabana, and John Silver defeated the Elite, Kenny Omega, Adam Page, Matt Jackson, and Nick Jackson. An 8-man tag team match. The Elite came out dressed up as Ghostbusters with the proton packs. They used the proton packs. There was just too many comedic spots in this match. I thought it was hilarious. Colt Cabana was dressed up as Brendan Cutler, but it was just I just could not take this match seriously. I'm sorry. Then Brandon Cutler comes running out, and they expected that he was supposed to be the staple of Marshmallow Man, and come to find out that was just Adam Page sitting there with them the whole time, and then they get into it there. Yeah, I don't know, man. This is just way over the top comedic, and I'm not the only one that says this.
Though. It was a Halloween episode.
I get that part. I get that. Both teams came dressed up because it was Halloween, but it was just too over the top for me. Like the comedic value in it. I mean, especially
I respect
It's not.
I understand.
So you enjoyed it, is what you're saying.
I didn't say I enjoyed it. It was just something different, and like I said, it's not for everybody. I respect
And
it.
they use the proton packs in the match, etc., etc. So
Yes.
you know,
Yep. Even
it's things like
Jr.
this.
didn't like it.
See, I mean, the guy knows what he's talking
He
about.
said it right on TV. He said, listen, this is not for me. It's all right. It's not for everybody.
But then he stayed there for 13 minutes and 2 seconds. So at least commentating on the
Everybody
match.
got a job to do. Everybody got a job to do.
That is correct. So yeah, the Dark Order ended up winning that match. So before we get into Full Gear, are you seeing Adam Page as a new champion? Or do you think Kenny Omega is going to walk away? I can't.
I think it's his time now.
You think so?
The story is there. 2 years ago, he lost his chance at the championship to Chris Jericho. And
I legitimately at that period
he lost Kenny Omega.
I thought that that first time with Jericho and Page, I thought that Page was going to win that title because I thought
everybody did, but I mean.
But then again, at the same time, afterwards, I realized why they didn't do it, and I sat there. I was like, it makes sense because he's not ready yet. I just thought that Jericho's old. He's just going to make Page a star. You know what I mean? He's just going to lay down and he's going to get the rub. It didn't. It's not exactly what happened, but I'm not upset about it. So,
no. Now we all live to hear storytelling.
Yeah. And I mean, it's like every week you and I discuss like it's not Roman's time to lose the title, but it's like we never really discuss who's going to, and we can't figure out who's going to beat Roman. You know what I mean? Every week, who's going to defeat Omega? I was like, can it be Page? It's very possible that Omega walks away with the title as well. But I mean, I think it's
it could be possible. It could, this long story just continues to show that, Adam Page keep on failing. But I mean, truthfully, we'll figure this out soon because we'll go do a post show for Full Gear.
Oh, we are.
So,
this might be another one of those
big post show too. It's gonna be you got AEW and PAPW all in one night. Big post show.
Oh yeah, we got to talk about PAPW later. On top of that, AEW Rampage aired Friday, the October 29th edition of Boston, Massachusetts. Bryan Danielson and Eddie Kingston in the semifinal match.
Mm-hmm.
This match went 16 minutes, roughly. Phenomenal. Two talents that are just, I think, Eddie Kingston is doing some fantastic work at this day and age in AEW. As another guy we watched around these indies, around these parts for years. And he's doing great in this match with obviously a living legend, Bryan Danielson. Okay, I did say right name.
Okay, good. I made sure I'm right this time. Now, Bryan Danielson has since signing with AEW, he has done nothing but classics. He has done nothing but classic. He's
classic after classic.
To do it. So all I had to say is it was the best thing he ever done signing with the company. Best thing for him because he could add on to the library of other great matches that he doesn't have in the past. So like I said, I'm looking forward to him versus hopefully Jon Moxley because it's going to be another classic added on with the rest of them.
I just think that's going to be a weird clash in styles. Not bad. I think it's going to be a great match. It's just that look at the style that Moxley works. He does like a lot of hardcore, does a lot of weaponry, etc. Danielson is a pure wrestler. You know what I mean? So I think it's going to be good.
But look at the match he had with Minoru Suzuki.
Yep.
Minoru Suzuki wrestled at kind of the same style. And look at the classic they pulled out.
But Moxley can work.
Yes, he can.
Straight wrestling style. He loves hardcore wrestling and deathmatch stuff. He loves that stuff. So we'll see what happens there. Dante Martin defeated Matt Seidel. This was a good one. That Dante Martin kid. Yeah, it was the third time you said, right? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
This is a storyline that's continuing. I think they're trying to build up him and Malachi Black. Am I correct? Going forward?
Nah, I think they're trying to build up him and Leo Rush as a team, but you gotta remember his team is out on an injury, his other partner. So hopefully we gonna figure.
That's right. Yep.
Yeah, we gotta figure out whether the top flight is gonna still continue or Leo Rush and him is just gonna show this new attitude.
Yeah, and Matt Seidel is showing that he is still on top of his game after years and years and years of being in that, being in the business, going through issues that he's had. You know, working with Impact, working WWE, Ring of Honor, etc., etc. He's still top of his game. Him and his brother working there. You know, as a tag team for the most part. This was a good match.
Yeah, I enjoyed this match, and we about to talk about another match that's coming up that was kind of like real brutal. What you thought about it?
I did not care for this match. This. All right. First off, Dr. Britt Baker, DMD, defeated Abaddon, or successfully defended the Women's Championship against Abaddon. This match I neither liked or cared for, just didn't hate. It was just there. I liked how they did the storyline, how she was afraid of Abaddon, and but she still wanted to stick her hand in her mouth. She had the glove, but
yeah,
you know, if you're gonna fight a zombie, do you want to stick your hand in a zombie's mouth? I wouldn't.
True. Do that. Nah,
and how could a zombie wrestle?
It's a Halloween.
It's a Halloween episode. It's a Halloween. I know. It's a Halloween episode, but it just wasn't. It wasn't a match that I cared about at all, and it was over in 7 minutes. Yeah. So I mean, I think they just did it for the Halloween season. Am I too picky? Seriously, you think am I too judgment? See, I could tell by the look on your face that that's probably a yes.
Listen, like I said, I respect everybody's opinion. Certain things are not for everybody in wrestling. That's why they got different varieties, and it just wasn't for you.
Yeah, but I mean, the thing with AEW is that they give everybody a variety. The variety, you know what I mean? Everybody has a shot there.
WWE does it too. They do it
sort of.
AEW
does. They've been doing their WWE thing for the last, 30 years. They've been doing Monday Night Raw for 30 years, the same Monday Night Raw. Well, no, 25 years roughly. But I mean, AEW does something for everybody. I mean, there's some comedy stuff, and I might not like it. I've definitely known to say that I don't like something on the show. They do a lot of straight wrestling. They do a lot of hardcore wrestling. They do anything you can think of. That if you're a wrestling fan, you're going to get a variety watching that show, going to a show or watching the show. So you're not necessarily going to be disappointed. It's just not going to be terribly overexciting or underexciting. You know, you're just going to go there and witness something interesting.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I'm not a huge deathmatch person by any means. So
either.
Yeah, I can't stand it. I tried watching it.
Watch it.
Which one?
Revolution with John Moxley versus Kenny Omega. I did watch that.
Oh, I watched that. I watched that.
It was something different to introduce fans to a different side of wrestling. You got
exploding ring. Yeah.
Yeah.
I used to watch some of that stuff when I was younger, and I used to kind of enjoy it. But these days, not so much. And then speaking of which, over the weekend I watched that match with Onita and Matt Tremont or whatever his name is. The death match. H2O was the name of the company or something, and they brought Onita in. Yeah. And literally, I could complain forever about this show. I really can.
What? It was
yeah. Okay, so apparently this company ran shows 2 nights in a row. Yeah. So if you can do something that you're going to be televised, would you put your hard cam facing the side where there's no crowd whatsoever? That's one thing. It's in a baseball field. That's the other thing. And then the ring looks like they bought the supplies at the dollar store and put it together. Okay. Like the apron or the canvas was just kind of looked like it was being held on, like barely, kind of a thing.
Yeah.
And it's just every match had a gimmick. It was a two-way, or no, not two-way, three-way, four-way, six-way, and then there was always some sort of gimmicky type stuff for every single match, mind you. And I cannot see how this company made money because, like, once they did focus on them, where the people were, it was just all spread out. It wasn't like there was not a ton of people there, and somehow they ended up getting into this ballpark to do this show. So it's like I can't imagine them making any money whatsoever on this show. And they had
Money
to
was
pay
somewhere.
They had to pay Onita. Tony Myers came in, Leatherface, Super Leather, whatever you want to call him, who was in FMW at the back in the day. Chainsaw Tony, they call him, whatever. I just don't see how they made any money whatsoever. You want to walk away in the positive, not in the red. You know what I'm saying?
True.
So it was. If you make $1, then you made something. Okay. So it's just I'm sitting here like I don't get what is going on here. Eventually, I had to shut it off because I just couldn't take it.
I God bless you that you watched it because I know I can't watch it. I done passed by it 1,000 times on YouTube.
Yeah, it was brutal, man. It was brutal. I actually that was probably the only wrestling I attempted to watch over the weekend. Really, because I think I had a little while to kill on a Sunday night, and I said, "Oh, that show's on. Let me try it out." I'm regretting this. Like sitting here, like it was bad. Dude. It was bad news. So what else do you have going on? I can tell you about tomorrow's NWA Powerrr. Judas.
Let me know what's going on. What's going on with NWA?
No problem.
I haven't watched NWA since before the pandemic.
Oh, God. NWA. They're doing their own thing. I kind of enjoy it. It's a little rough around the edges at times. And I can tell you why. Certain things, but for some reason, this episode, it's like they bring in guys, and then they stop using bigger names, and then it seems like they're using a lot of guys from that area where they're filming. Yeah. Some of these guys are kind of known though on this episode. Judas, who has he made his name through NWA Wildside or NWA Anarchy and stuff like that back in the day. Taking in Sal Renaro, another Georgia staple, Ring of Honor staple as well. Women's tag team titles, the Hex, taking on Tootie Lynn and Thunder Kitty. Have you seen Thunder Kitty? She's like she wrestles like as that old lady. That's her gimmick. Like she's like a 300-year-old lady or something like that, or 200-year-old lady or something. It's pretty comical, but yeah. The Pope, what's his name? Elijah Burke taking on Colby Corino. That match I think is going to be really good. I think both of those guys are really awesome. And Scion, who is the mysterious masked man, taking on Matthew Mims. See, there's a lot of guys. Mims, they've been really pushing on their show. Like, they're really giving him the chance on their television show. I think it's been sometimes the show's like really uninteresting to watch. Sometimes it's really interesting. This seems like it's probably going to be, on paper, looks like it'll be kind of a downer, but who knows? I'm gonna watch it anyways, and I'll probably enjoy it overall. We'll see. Well, that's always the ones that surprise you. I will. I'll let you. I'll send you a link, and then we can talk about it.
Absolutely. I'll check it out.
I watched with the United Wrestling Network. They have Championship Wrestling from Atlanta, and I watched this match. Tony Nese. It's the first time I'd seen him since his WWE release. Took on what the hell's his name? Black Ali.
I watched the match last night.
Dude, that was a great freaking match, dude.
It was a good match. I was surprised about the ending.
Yeah, I was. That the other guy went over?
Yeah.
I could not believe it. But it was good. I think Tony Nese, he's obviously, it hasn't been exposed yet or hasn't been brought out yet, but Dave Meltzer has stated that Tony Nese has signed with AEW. So that's a guy that I'm really excited to signing with AEW because I think, he had his chance in WWE and he looked like he was doing really well there. And all of a sudden they gave up on him, it seemed. You know what I mean? It was just kind of, he was ended up like, all right, you got your cruiserweight title shot. Now you're just going to linger. Then they do that a lot with guys with that title. So they give him that shot. They let him hold it for a little bit, and then they just linger until they just decide to release him. Surprised Mustafa Ali. Oh my God, excuse me. Hasn't been released yet. I mean, surprise, but they give him his chance. But I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. I think that guy's great talent though, so it's a good thing that they did keep him.
They got a lot of great talents there, like Ricochet. That's what that they wasted away.
He's wasting away. Is he still on Monday Night Raw, or is he on main event? So it doesn't really matter which brand he's supposed to be on. Yeah,
he's a free agent somewhere.
Purgatory, basically WWE Purgatory. That's what TNA is, though, or Impact, however you want to call it. So
yeah,
it's like Purgatory for professional wrestlers. So yeah, that's pretty much it. It is though. I mean, everybody loses or they get fired. They go there either to die, or they go there before they get signed to another company. It's true. Some guys will linger there forever. I mean, seriously, look at Eric Young. But I mean, no offense to Eric Young. Eric Young is cool and he's a really great worker. But the thing with that is like he's like their staple guy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like he's like their guy. So it's like he can't go to WWE. WWE dropped the ball on him. I don't think he would fit in. I don't think they'd fit in with AEW, or if they did, they wouldn't know what to do with him.
Exactly.
WWE obviously didn't know what to do with him.
I was never a fan of Eric Young. I know he put a lot of hard work in this industry, but
Whoa.
I know they tried a lot of gimmicks with him, and it just
Yeah, I mean, I liked him. I did like a lot of his stuff, with the exception of. I mean, they claim that he was the Daniel Bryan of Impact before Daniel Bryan existed. That whole yes moving thing. I heard Petey Williams actually had was backstage. I think at SmackDown last week, or was that sound right?
Yeah, try out being an agent.
Yeah. Best of luck to him. I didn't know that he was not working for Impact anymore. So I thought that he was still there, because every time I turned on the TV, he was there. I mean, every time I turned on Impact, rather. But I honestly have not watched Impact in a few weeks. I tried to watch it a couple weeks ago, and it was like driving me nuts, like the first half hour. So you know how that goes.
Yeah.
I try to watch it and be supportive of it, but it's really brutal. So.
It's just like me watching Raw. I try real hard.
Yeah, we got to fast forward to the most important parts when. I'm sorry. Thank you.
Sure.
Thank you. Yeah, it's like you got to fast forward to the most important parts where there's like the Big E comes out. Well, Drew's not on there anymore, but who else? I don't even know, because the draft people have the draft is taking place. It's starting to take place. So who's there? I did start. Yeah, so it's like I did watch that part of SmackDown. I tried to watch the first half hour. Drew came out and he choked somebody out. Who did he choke out? He choked somebody out.
Stop Ali.
Oh yeah, because it was ass though. So so it didn't make much sense.
SmackDown was a missable show. That's why we didn't talk about it. It was real missable. Only thing you take from it is Adam Pearce's fining Brock Lesnar for $1 million. That's it. That's all.
So they're basically admitting that that their guys are millionaires and stuff. They never talked about stuff like that before in the past, like that guys were like millionaires, or that they would pay guys for millions of dollars. It was weird.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's just a way to keep Brock off of TV until either the Survivor Series or the Royal Rumble. So my guess is that they're going to bring Brock in, and Brock is going to win. He's going to be a surprise entrant in the Royal Rumble, and he's going to win it, and then take on Roman at WrestleMania. Tell me if I'm wrong. Oh my God, we agree on something. Holy shit!
Yeah.
So,
You look in the whole time. You look in the whole field. Who is like the legit winner of this year's Rumble? You can't look and can't pick one. So that will be the
Yeah.
choice that they will make.
Yeah, because I mean, first off, they let everybody go. They let so many people go, and it's like, who are they going to bring in? I can't think of anybody that they're going to bring like that they would let them win that. Seriously, the rosters are so depleted at this point. It's just, what are you going to have Braun Breaker win? Like, you know,
Or Drew McIntyre win again. I mean,
dude, I think how many people have won it twice? The only person I could think of was Hogan, won it 2 years in a row.
Hogan won it twice. Edge won it twice. Austin won it twice.
Austin. I was about to say Austin.
Shawn Michaels won it twice.
I'm sorry to hear that. So, jeez. Wow. Okay. So there's only a very few people that have won it twice.
Yeah.
That's
Austin
good.
won it 3 times.
3 times. Oh my God, that's a big ass number. So what else do you have? Do you have anything else? We got Paradise Alley this coming weekend. Alley fights, November 5th, Friday night.
Yes.
Yep. That
coming back.
And the following weekend is, oh my God, Type 1 to None. I got it right. All right. So I don't know what I'm drawing a lot of blanks. I'm drawing a lot of blanks today. I do have the lineup here.
It's the beer.
I've had 1 beer. I'm actually halfway through that 1 beer. So this week I'd like to blame that, but it's not happening. I just think my brain's not working properly today. So we got Type 1 to None. I'm going to go through it. Kylan King. Is Perkins taking place? Is he going to be there?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that'll be a pretty decent match. We got Flash Waller taking on Mario Mancini for the Alley Fights Championship. Scratch that. Reverse it. Mario Mancini taking on Flash Waller for the Alley Fights Championship. That's going to be an interesting match. Let's go Mario. Yeah. We got Vlad taking on you, Marcel Williams.
Yes.
I'm expecting that to be a brutal match. That's going to be brutal.
Yeah, I probably won't do the podcast the next day. Probably.
Oh, Jesus. I have to ask Vlad to take it easy on you. No, we got Matthias taking on my man Colossal Mike Law. I think that guy's awesome. We got Insanely Rude taking on the Haven. The House of Pain will be in action. Let's see. Oh, and Ichiban taking on Jay Bougie. That's going to be an awesome match, man. I'm looking forward to that one. That's going to be a great match.
The card is stacked. PAPW's come back again to the JCC to tear it on down. So join us. Capacity level that went up. So
really?
Yeah, so you could come down. Like I said, tickets is not available on Paradise Alley ProWrestling.com. It's available at the door. So come early, first come, first serve. Few front rows available, but general admission is $20.
All right. That's awesome. And first off, let me say, second, we found that we have reached our limit, not our limit, our goal of over 1,000 subscribers.
Yes.
So what's happening now is we're going to be holding a contest very soon. I got a little prize I'm going to be giving out to somebody. Also a PWZ t-shirt I'm going to be giving out to somebody. So stay tuned. They're going to make an exclusive video for that. So check it out on this YouTube channel. We're going to be doing a hell of a lot more interesting content. We're going to be going live. I'm interested in going. You interested in going live?
Absolutely.
Let's go live. We can talk shit. Let people jump in the chat and start talking shit, and we can just start talking shit back live.
Chat and drink with us or whatever you want to do.
We'll do a shot. Every time something happens. Maybe we'll do a live reaction during a pay-per-view. What do you say?
Hey, why not?
All right.
Full gear, whatever.
I'm down. Full gear. Let's try to set that up. That's what next set.
Wait.
Yo,
we may not have to do that because we got PAPW at the same time. So
we can't do that. We can't do that unless, of course, we just both. Yeah, that's not going to work. I'm going to be doing a review for the. That's not going to work. I am going to be watching the XPW pay-per-view. Oh my God.
God bless you.
Yeah, God bless me is right. I don't know why I'm doing this to myself, but something, I'm intrigued by this thing. I hate, I've always explained to you that I hate deathmatch wrestling. So I'm back in the day, I used to watch XPW. I cannot believe that you're doing a comeback. So I think that's mostly the thing, is that I'm mostly intrigued that they're actually going to do a comeback. Maybe I'm just waiting for a failure, and that's why I'm going to be tuning in. I could be wrong. I mean, so I just want to see how bad it is. Sometimes I just want to watch that train wreck. But they do have some really good talent signed up. Not the deathmatch guys, of course, because no offense, I'm not a wrestler, but it doesn't, I could just get my ass whooped with a frying pan. So I'm sorry. They do have Willie Mack on the show. They got Willie Mack. They got, what's his Ring of Honor guy? Was it Vinny Marcellia or whatever? He's a Northeast guy as well. I've noticed that he's on there. Silas Young is on there from Ring of Honor as well, which when I saw that he was on the show, I was really shocked. So when I saw Willie Mack, because I'm a huge Willie Mack fan, I thought that he's just a great worker. That was one thing. It's like, all right, I'm going to tune in for this particular, see what he's up to. Because
stack card.
It seems that way with the non-deathmatch guys. So the non-deathmatch guys is the guys I'm interested to tune in for, and I'm actually going to pay for it. So I'm kind of scared at the fact that I'm actually paying for this. So I don't know. Call me crazy. I think I'm going to be torturing myself with this.
I respect it.
I might make you watch it and talk about it.
Please don't do that to
me. Did you watch XPW back in the day at all?
Nope. Yeah. I didn't even watch the Dark Side of the Ring. I did.
I watched the Dark Side of the Ring. I did not watch the Dark Side on the steroid trial. I did. Really? I'm like, I've seen really? I've seen so much of the Dark Side of the Ring. I mean, not the Dark Side. I mean, on the steroid trial for God knows how long. It's like, do I need to watch another thing about that? I've even been listening to John Orezzi's podcast, where basically he was discussing. He had a radio show back in the day, the radio. A wrestling news radio before there was podcasts or any of that kind of stuff. He was doing the same thing on like local AM radio back in the day out of New York.
Yeah.
And basically he was covering the steroid trials as they were happening. So I've been listening to the older, his podcast, and they would like play clips from the old podcast and they would discuss some stuff. It's really intriguing stuff. I've kind of had my fill on the whole the whole steroid trial. And I remember when it was on Phil Donahue, actually, when that was, I don't know if you remember seeing, that was on, I think you can watch it on YouTube. So I don't know, maybe I'll watch it down the road, but it's like, it's kind of funny. Dave Meltzer was on there, John Orezzi. I think Superstar Billy Graham was on there. And the thing is, Superstar Billy Graham comes out on that show, on John Orezzi's show. There's a really lengthy interview talking about steroids and how they damage your body and stuff like that. And he was really into them back in the 60s and 70s. And it's just like, wow. It's like, it's an incredible interview to listen to, really. Sorry, I'm ranting.
No, you're good. I'd make sure I check it out.
All right. Yeah, it's good to listen to. All right. So I guess that's it. Marcel, do you have any other items that you want to discuss outside of, we're talking about next week's gigantic pro wrestling events, actually the next 2 weeks gigantic pro wrestling events with Paradise Alley?
Yeah, we got, like I said, once again, Alley fights this Friday night, 7 p.m. at the Paradise Alley train facility, 662 Cole Avenue, East Haven. And then you got Type 1 and None Round 3 JCC once again. And then we got big news coming up for December 11th, Under Pressure from Paradise Alley Professional Wrestling. But just stay tuned. Be well, be safe, people. Have a good night. And Rick gonna send us home.
Make sure you tune in here for all your Paradise Alley Pro Wrestling news and their Facebook page. Sorry. And check out anything PWZ related here. PWZ on Instagram, Twitter. And make sure you look out for that contest. I'll be announcing it very soon. Thank you for everybody that has subscribed make sure that you keep subscribing because you're going to get a hell of a lot more and exciting content coming in. Take care, everybody.